Good morning. My name is Kylie Leonard and I'm the Associate Publisher at ADM Group. I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and would like to pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome. Welcome to the ADM Women in Defence and National Security event. What is shaping the defence workforce in 2025? Diversity still matters. This is the fourth event in a series that has grown from a spark of an idea a little over 4 months ago to a program that will see us run an event every month through to January next year. Each with a different theme and format, but all focusing on a single issue or topic that directly affects women in the defence industry. Thank you to our event partners, Synergy Group. They have been amazing for believing in this idea, taking a leap of faith and working with the ADM team to make it happen. Synergy Group is a wholly owned Australian company with a proud history of giving back to the communities in which they work. Today, we are discussing diversity in the workplace and why that is so vitally important in 2025. A diverse workplace is one that employs people from a wide variety of genders, abilities, ethnic backgrounds, ages and religious beliefs. So what would a completely diverse Australian workplace look like? By now you all know that I love a good statistic and a pie graph makes it even better. So let's look at some statistics from the ABS. A completely diverse workplace of 100 people should comprise 4 Indigenous Australians, 62 non-Indigenous Australians, 34 people born overseas, of which 9 are from Europe and the UK, 2 from North Africa and the Middle East, 16 from Asia, 2 from the Americas and 2 from Sub-Saharan Africa and 3 from Oceania. There should be 1 gender diverse person, 48 men and 51 women. 21 of those will be living with a disability. 52 will have Christian religious beliefs, 40 will not identify with any form of religion, 1 will follow Judaism, there will be 2 Muslims, 2 Hindus, 2 Buddhists and 1 from another religion. 60 will be aged between 15 and 45 and 40 between 45 and 65. I don't know a single Australian workplace that looks anything like that. Why does it matter? What's in it for my workplace? It's really simple. Companies with a diverse workforce outperform other companies on every metric. In the December 2023 Diversity Matters survey, McKinsey showed a 39% increase likelihood of outperformance for those in the top quarter of ethnic representation versus the bottom quartile. The penalties for low diversity on executive terms are also intensifying. Companies with representation of women exceeding 30%, and thus the top quartile, are significantly more likely to financially outperform those with 30% or fewer. Similarly, companies in their top quartile for ethnic diversity show an average of 27% financial advantage over others. Meanwhile, those in the bottom quartile for both ethnic and gender diversity are 66% less likely to outperform financially on average, up from 27% in 2020, indicating that lack of diversity may be getting more expensive. So basically, it's just better for your bottom line. A more diverse group will increase innovation and creativity. Different backgrounds, different lived experiences leads to greater breadth of ideas and more imaginative problem solving. More diversity leads to a safer work environment with flow-on effects for workforce retention and recruitment. Why are we still talking about this in 2025? Didn't we solve this 20 years ago? In Australia, we're not there yet. We still have engineering teams of 40 where 39 are men and there's a single woman. We are still failing to attract young women to STEM careers, and the number one reason is still that STEM is not for girls. And seeing is a believing plays a big part in this. While the numbers of Indigenous Australians participating in the workforce is improving, at 52%, it is well short of the 2031 target of 62%, and well below the national average for all Australians at 66.8%. We are nowhere near creating a balanced, diverse workplace. Other places in the world are actively moving in the other direction, and these policies are reaching into Australia. For employees of the Australian arm of an internationally owned, or where their head office is, I don't need to tell you, being told that participation in the Gay Pride March is grounds for dismissal, to companies withdrawing the support for events like this, employees being told that they can attend international women's events but they have to pay their own way, take leave to go and must not identify where they work. The removal of DEI targets and plans from websites. Wholly owned and run Australian companies who are no longer willing to champion their diversity credentials in case it jeopardises their contracts with big overseas primes. All of these and many more, I have so many examples if you want some more, are reasons why diversity still matters in Australia and why we still need to talk about it. It's not a happy picture. Okay, so, moving on. We have an impressive lineup of speakers for you today. Our first speaker today, and she is very, very nervous, but she's going to be amazing. Maria, I'm going to mispronounce your surname, I'm sorry, Maria. Montealegre? There you go. She's a system engineer at Saab Australia. Maria is an engineer who began her career in Colombia, later establishing herself in Australia. She brings a diverse range of experiences and a unique point of view to the engineering field, blending technical skills and a personal touch to drive positive change and inspire others to pursue their dreams with confidence. Maria brings a unique perspective to the discussion of diversity in the workplace. She is a migrant and a woman working in a still heavily male-dominated engineering field. Please welcome Maria.
Okay. What I would like to start today is with a quick survey about who is in the room. And I would like to ask who came to Australia with the skill and migration program pathway. That's good to hear that. To see that. Who of you become a permanent resident the first 5 years? Good. And who of you become a permanent resident in the first 10 years? Okay. No, okay. Okay, that's good, thank you. All right, to start with, actually, when I came to Australia, I was so lucky to be, my profession be in the skill shortlisted qualifications and occupations. And I have the opportunity to apply for my permanent resident through my experience, through my qualifications, and through my basic English level, okay? So, and who of you, actually, the second thing is, who of you has been influenced or have been supported by your employer to get postgraduate qualifications? Okay, that's plenty, that's good. So I was also lucky on this issue as well. So that is why you see a systems engineer with Australian qualifications in immigration law and business. Totally different, right? So anyway, that's my initial experience, and I have to admit that obviously to come back as a systems engineer, I have to actually apply to many mentoring programs, initially as a mentee, eventually I start become a mentor, and eventually to attending many of these programs, events as a guest speaker as well, and I apply as well for some programs where allow me to be next to the CEOs as a chair of the program, and apply for these things that it will help me to start again as a systems engineer in Australia. So that has been like a little bit of my career, a cycle. Start as a systems engineer, then using my soft skill to work in the management areas, and then come back as a systems engineer. And the same happened as well with the industries that I've been working with. I've been working with the railway industry, with the road industry, defense industry, and now again with the defense industry as well. So that's about me. I would like to, probably we can start with that.
Okay, so I just have some questions that Maria and I prepared beforehand. How can Australia take advantage of the purge of skilled labour that is happening in other countries, the US? Oops.
Well, I think we should take advantage that Australia is looked right now as the country of dreams. Okay, we also are quite well located, and I think one of the stuff that we should take advantage is then we provide, or we are in some safety space, and we also have a good lifestyle that is quite well known around the world. And I think that is one of the stuff that we can look at. But also is then the growing pool of the immigration or skilled migrants that is coming to Australia. Right now, I haven't seen so much Colombians in Australia as it is currently. And there is a very good pool of professionals that come with a good experience as well. Not like me, when I arrived, I have 4 years. They come with 10 years of experience in technical skills, and I think that's going to help to break the bridge or the gaps that we have, and I think that's one thing that we can do. Yep.
So I just have a quick supplementary question. How do we position Australia to be more attractive than Europe?
Okay, so I wouldn't say that the salary, of course. As you can see, we have been working with so many European companies, and I believe that one of the attractions or how we can do is to help them to become resident or coming with the work rights in Australia. I think that's one of the stuff that we can do. Right now, the timeline for these processes is quite long, and it's not very easy. So I believe that one of the things that will be is working between governments. So how can facilitate or how can improve this process much faster than is currently happening. That's why I think something that we can do.
What are the major hurdles coming to Australia as a migrant, and how can you avoid them?
Okay. Okay. I believe so that when we arrived to Australia, we had so many challenges. In my case, was the language. Still having this kind of barriers. So anyway, but there are other immigrants that they don't come with this kind of barrier, okay? And they have an amazing skills. In particular, people who come from countries that they have the English language as their first language, and if we can see also most of our products, or most of like some of the stuff that we're working in railway, defense, and in the technology, these products coming from overseas. They coming from Europe or from America, and these are the people who actually probably been working on these issues. So how we can help them is to include them in the workplaces. So if you are going to look, or one of the stuff that I've seen in previous and other industries is that when you are going to the workplace, you show the map of the people who work from different countries or from the diverse backgrounds in the workplace. And I think it will be good to be aware of that, because if you include them in the workplace, you are helping to actually, in this challenge that we sometimes have, because we don't have the opportunity. We just, I understand we are competing with very professionals, skilled professionals from Australia, but I think we can bring other skills, of soft skills and technical skills, when we can combine very well with in a workplace. So I believe so that is the challenges that we are facing, and I think that is something that the Australian workforce can do.
So, Maria, how many languages do you speak?
Well, two only, but my daughter is 3, but yes, something.
See, most of us struggle just with English, so I think you're amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. I kind of have more notes.
That's okay. That's it. We'll get there. So what are the trips, and well, we've just done that one basically. It's got to be more than Vegemite and toast in terms of welcoming new people to our workplace. What was the hardest part? Was that the language barrier for resettling in Australia? What was the hardest part about coming here? Outside the workplace, what was the hardest?
I think the hardest is just being seen. Then I have other skills, and also then even though you initially cannot give the opportunity with your experience or background, but just bring them in other probably area, and when the opportunity comes to move it along internally, you'll be able to do it. So I think that's the first most of the challenge that I had. But I wanted to tell you about a story then, because obviously through my mentorship programs, I've been actually supporting many females, young engineers as well in Australia, because they come to me and ask me for some kind of advice. But I remember very good female engineer who she was working in the health industry, and she was a systems engineer, and she didn't know how to become the permanent resident. So there's other pathways when you can become much faster or be aware or help them to be aware that they can do it. For example, there is a talent program as well in immigration, then you can use it to become a permanent resident. So just helping them to be, able to aware or just let them know that what is available for them as well. So I think I have another presentation. I think it's I always would like to bring them. It's not just to include the people with different backgrounds. It's also how we can, it's not just to bring them, just to fill the gap. It's just to include them, because you can see in workplaces, we can see in the social events, we always tend to be strike with just the people who have the same cultural background. But I believe so that one of the points that we could do is, for example, do the buddy program or do mentoring programs, but pair with people who is locally, not just between the same background. For example, someone from Colombia just pair with a mentorship program from someone from Australia. That will help us a lot to understand our culture. The other thing is obviously invest in the development. We just give it the opportunity to these diverse people to just learn about every, the standards, the policies, everything that is not quite familiar for them. So something like that, and just recognize their work. That's what I would like to bring today.
Do we have any questions from the audience for Maria?
Yes.
I'm going to use a personal example, if that's okay, so I can be really specific. Maria, thank you for sharing all your experiences. At the moment, I'm mentoring a engineer from Sri Lanka who's on the, she's going through the PR process, but it's still going to be a while for her. She's entitled to work. She's just finished her PhD. She's highly specialised, but she's got some great diversity of engineering skills as well. She's got both industry and research experience as well as teaching experience in Sri Lanka. She's just done her, finished her PhD on something quite specialised at psychology. She can't find a job. We've been working on trying to get her a job for 12 months. That was her goal when we started mentoring, and she's applied for hundreds of things. She's applied for graduate positions, even though she was a graduate about 10 years ago. She can't get anything in Canberra, which is where she lives, because everything requires Australian citizenship for the clearance, and that's actually been the situation for her in many of the jobs she's applied for, but she can't even get any feedback. So, what else can she do?
Yes, when I was actually working in the Women's in Transport program, I was paired with someone from a different country, And one of the challenges I think is to understand what exactly is her goal. Because it's not just to get into the Australian workforce, right? It's exactly what she's passionate about and what she's good at. So how do you find this on her? Because this is the main thing, or what I do always, when I do in mentoring, is really find exactly what they are wanting. Some of them want a better salary.
Yeah. We've done all that. We've done all that. She can't even get feedback on her application.
Okay. So one of my experience is actually become part of a lot of mentoring programs in different industries. Has she done this?
She's done a few. She's been
helping her to be part of so many mentoring programs. For example, when I moved from management area to the technical area, how can I, realize 9 years of gap from my technical experience that I bring working for multinational company and here in any totally different area. So what I did was having a mentorship in systems engineering. So I became a member, not only as Engineers Australia, I became a member as well from the Systems Engineering Society Australia. Okay, they offer me another mentor program. So I have my mentor in systems engineer. I have my mentor in the women's in transport. I have my mentor in my personal life. So and you are building the networking, because for us, the most difficult part is that we don't have school networking. We don't have any university networking. So I have to be honest with you, I got criticized as well because I become quite networking person, okay? And I just become quite popular on LinkedIn too. And some people don't like that you be popular on LinkedIn either, okay? So, but something that I always do is, hi guys, you were born here. You have your network. I didn't have anything of this. So if I am not aware about my weakness and how can I help to overcome them, who else? So I will suggest, that she will be part, and I can help you with other programs that probably you don't know, because I've been working in different industries, not only defense, and I can help you with all of this. So if you need my help, I'm also happy to share.
What's her speciality?
Structural engineering blast. So she's developed some really unique blast modelling.
So there you go. If anybody's after a blast engineering specialist, we've got one. So just reach out to Susan.
PhD, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but
okay.
Yes, they have a very good technical skills, I believe, so that they coming from overseas. If you start thinking about it, is our European countries, they are way ahead of us in how the roads work, how the Navy sector has been building chips for many years, all these kind of things, and in the software, as technical knowledge too. So coming from America or from Europeans, so they have, and the good thing is that they can pass and transfer this knowledge to local Australians who are going to become in the future the leaders in Australia. So why not to learn? And that's what we've been working with so many expatriates. Then they come to Australia just to pass the knowledge, and they go back. So yes, why not?
Just to follow on from what you're saying, Maria. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. You make a really good point. Like, I think people from other countries who are more advanced in Australia can come and impart that wisdom. I see a lot of people working in talent that have like amazing experience in naval capability, way beyond, what we do, but they're not an Australian citizen, so therefore that's the end of the road, right? But like, how do you feel like defence can at least get value from these people without them having Australian citizenship?
Yeah, I think it's a good question in order to defense sector, and I am not have the capacity to answer this question very deep because I don't have all the knowledge, qualifications, etc. allow me to answer this question. But what I will say is then retention is number one. So how defense companies would like to retain people, because that's is a big issue, right? So when you sponsor or companies sponsor these skills or this person with this kind of skills, you can have them for a certain period, minimum of 1 year, maximum 4 years with a sponsor visa, with the work right visa, and that's one thing. And then later on, you can keep going and sponsor, or you can sponsor them to become a permanent resident. So this give it the opportunity to retain this person for longer periods. And I think it's something that defense industry still are quite behind compared with other industries, because I understand there are some limitations, and we all know about the security limitations. But it's to start with, we can do that, in my opinion, and we have some agreements, my understanding, with other countries that we can work on this pathway as well. So I'm not sure if Olivia, I answered your question, but I believe so. That that's something that defense could do. Is just not just answering, but also working together between the governments.
Because if defence don't take these people on, then these people go to adjacent industries, they do the sponsorship, they do the PR, and we lose them.
Yeah.
So it's, I appreciate you don't speak on behalf of defence, but it's an interesting...
I think defence needs to have a look at that, and if somebody's got a security clearance, say from the US or say from the UK, they've been through the hoops there. We just need to have some sort of legal arrangement to have them swear some sort of allegiance to Australia and not disclose information backwards. That's not citizenship.
I mean, there is a waiting process with ACTA, but it's so hard and takes such a long time that companies don't want to go on that journey because it's too long. They need the resource sooner.
Yeah. Can I just reflect on a similar challenge that's adjacent, which is in the intelligence sector? How do we bring in people who don't yet have clearances and get them in our talent pipeline? And so some organisations have looked at model classification workforces with the intent of taking people who are working in the classified space through the process.
Yeah.
How might you be able to apply that to engineers who don't have citizenship yet? Maybe. Maybe there's work here.
There's currently no
outside the bounds of what is Australian only.
So currently my understanding is that there is no mechanism.
That's
No, but why would an organisation not want to start the initiative?
Well, Navantia have, there's a new emerging offshore wind industry that's happening in Australia, and Navantia, large naval structures, are wanting to be a part of that journey. So for us, like for me, listening to you, Marie, I'm like, well, that's great that we will at some point have that where non-cleared people can go and work on that project until they're cleared and they come to do it in the Navy. But that's a luxury, and I think if you're and that's something we actually don't really have at the moment, but we will. If you're like an SME, and we can, I don't know what Helen is, but I think Helen, your company's quite based around defence and needing clearances because you work above the line as a consultancy. Maybe it is a case of diversifying those two.
And if you flip that challenge and it doesn't become maybe you flip the challenge to make it a workforce generation challenge. How do we generate the workforce we need in 5 years? Well, we start here. And we give them meaningful work to do, and they might not contribute to our defence outcomes yet, but we've got them.
Totally. And what is that meaningful?
I don't know.
And how do we stretch that meaningful workforce out for the 5 years it takes? And then on top of that, once they've got their citizenship, then there's another period of time before they get their security clearance or their DISP accreditation, which can be up to another 18 months.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
It's a good point though. What is that meaningful work that we can nurture a talent pipeline that when male and female, that when the time's right, they can come into defence and because we have a workforce crisis, which is not going to get any better with how we're managing it at the moment. So, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So, Thank you,
It was
Maria.
a pleasure to be here. Hopefully,
You are
yes,
amazing.
we bring something.